you, Juanita. How are you? Live 2 days in a row. Hey, Martin Kelly, how are you? Welcome. Hey, Vasily, how are you? And Toronto doo-wop music guy. Welcome, welcome. I made that disappear in a hurry. So I contacted Art Toronto and said that I have a channel that focuses on art and culture, and asked for a press pass, and they were more than happy to give me one. And so I have unfettered access for 2 hours to the show before anybody else. So I'm going to be doing this live stream, and then I'm going to film with the Pocket 3 for the rest of the time for some good quality 4K content. Yeah, Vasily, come on down. This is a massive space. If anybody's been to the Metro Convention Center, it is a massive space. There are 180 galleries represented here from all over the world. And this year, 60% of the art that is shown is actually indigenous in nature. Hey Yoshi, how are you? Well, I'm going to be here till 2 p.m. Then I'm probably going to go to Saigon 360 and then head to work. Yeah, sure, Vasily, sounds good. I just inhaled a coffee. But this is awesome. Is normally there's 4,000 people walking around here, right? And there's everybody's in the way. This is some weird shit. Working while lurking. Who says stuff like that? That's really neat. And this piece, if you're interested, is $2,800. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you for the reminder. The gentle reminder to hit that like button. Helps the algorithm. Oh my. Very rude. Hey Jazz, how are you? Hey, how are you? I have no idea what I just walked into. Countdown to what? I don't know. that's a pretty good TV. All right, well, maybe a different day then, Vasily, because I do have 2 hours to do this, and I don't want to cut that short. I mean, geez, to do this police justice, you'd need 5 hours. There's so much going on here. But I think I'm coming back on Sunday, because I have this event happens tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Today is the special fancy pants canapé glass of wine. People will be coming today, I believe between at 6 o'clock. $400 a ticket for opening night, sneak peek. So it's an event hosted by the McMichael Gallery. So yeah, so $400 gets you the access that I have right now, and the difference is canapes and a glass of wine. Yeah, $400. That's for opening night. For every other day, it's not that. It's like $40. I always kind of like, more important than the actual event, I like the sneak peek kind of thing. So I like how they're still setting up and there's like cherry pickers going on and they're adjusting lights. And
Here, just come here. Here. Come. Mira, Simón. Vem.
GO trains here. Where are you coming from? Taking the GO in. Hey, Medano, how are you? Welcome to Art Toronto. I came here last year with Ema, and without a press pass, we just paid and came. And this is much better because there's not 4,000 people in the way, just a few tow motors.
You're not going to win this battle, Nero.
Artists, or the people who run the galleries, they might not even be here. But I don't really need that. Hey, Vivian Johnson, how are ya? Welcome to Art Toronto. This is kind of a 4-day event because it does start today, but only for the fancy schmancy people who will later pay $400 for their first sneak peek of this event. And I was lucky enough to get a media pass for this. So I've got a sneak peek before the fancy schmancy people for free. And there's an Epic Ninja. Now, this is one place I know that you cannot be sniped because you need a pass to get in, so I'm safe. Oh, Liam, I appreciate you. Welcome to membership. And that makes you boom-tastic. everybody you see here is either setting up, like there's carpenters, there's painters, there are media people, of which I am one, and there are exhibitors, but there's not the throng of people that you would get when they're generally open, which is awesome for me, because it can be a bit of a mosh pit in these places.
Okay, you bought it? Yeah, make sure. Yeah.
So like, you can see different things and be like, well, I totally understand that picture. Like, I don't know what it means, but I'm interested. Yeah. That's the best part.
CTV is here. Ninja is on the way to Union. I think Alicia's already there having a bite to eat. This is neat. Wooden beads.
Okay. Yeah, lots of time. Okay. Yeah, I know. I was gonna say 9 minutes. I could probably go have a quick meeting. Yeah. Especially later in the day. It is off now.
So I may come here Sunday with the throngs of people. Here's the CBC building, just to give you an idea where we are. Sunday, I am attending an event at Mount Pleasant Cemetery. They have an annual tree walk. So for those who don't know, Mount Pleasant Cemetery has one of the most diverse tree populations in North America. Some very rare stuff. And the arborist who's in charge of Mount Pleasant Cemetery, and I think like half a dozen other cemeteries, takes you on a tour. I don't know where the hell I just found myself. Hey, parents, how are you?
This is not pressure though. Is that garbage? Yeah.
And this piece, I like it, $3,800. So it's not going to be gracing my wall. Princess Margaret. How are you?
Oh, yeah, we can send a message, I guess, at the same I don't think I got your name earlier.
No, saffron.
Saffron? Nigel.
Yes.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to
When you
meet
came back up about the quotes, I was like,
Okay. Okay, I was told that it was finished.
And this is my second live stream in 2 days. I was with Zsa Zsa Gabor and Pee Wee yesterday after our time in the dog park. We went to Burger Shack, which was quite delicious. Thanks again, Juanita, for your support. I'm not sure what's going on here, but there's a whole lot of tech behind that desk.
Can I introduce you to one? Hi. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Hi. Oh, wonderful. Amazing. Yeah, I was director of Chisenhale Gallery. Olivia Ahern, our curator, was speaking for the modern galleries
Hey, Pine Sol, how are you? Welcome to Art Toronto, where you are getting an unfettered sneak peek. This show happens Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was lucky enough to be granted a media pass, which gives me unfettered access to this before anybody. About half an hour in. I've got 2 hours to do this, so I'm going to do kind of half of it for a live stream and then half of it with the Pocket 3 to get some 4K content. So that's my plan. Yeah, artist has a thing with fire. Well done. Looks like a Royal Dalton figurine. Pine Sol, this happens every year. I think this is like the 35th year that they have Art Toronto, and it's a different kind of thing. Ooh, what's back here? In that, it's a collection of galleries. So there's 180 galleries represented here, and that is from all over the world, but mostly Canada. And so often you won't even have the artists actually here. But it is a massive one. Yeah, honeycomb. But it looked like a Royal Dalton figurine that was attacked by a honeycomb. Again, this is happening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but tonight the McMichael Gallery is hosting a sneak peek for the fancy schmancy people, where they will have canapes and free wine, well, for $400. And I don't have that kind of wallet, so I appreciate the free sneak peek. And these pieces are $30,000 a piece. And this one a bargain at $60,000. Hey, Pine Sol, appreciate it. Thanks for the super sticker. $60,000. I appreciate it, Pine Sol. Thank you very much. Here's some very weird abstract stuff. Dali-esque, I guess you could call it. As I said, I may come here after my cemetery walk for the trees on Sunday. That's happening. I think I have to be there at 10 a.m. EMA plans on attending. We went last year, and it's quite fascinating. I'm going to come here after because I do have a pass for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well.
Yeah, so I'm just here for the Oh, sure, yeah. This is us. Yeah. Thank you so much. Of course, yeah. Yeah, of course. Take your time here. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, they absolutely are out of focus. I think that's the point. But it's like impressionist little dots. That's what they've done. Just little dots like impressionism. Bar. There's no bar here. Yeah, exactly. That's pixelated art. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, and it does remind me of games I used to play. More F's Revenge. It was a D&D game that I played.
Any questions?
I'm enjoying. Thank you. Is this you?
Yes.
Nice. You're the artist?
No. I just looked at it.
Okay. It's mostly
It's mostly secondary market stuff, so largely Canadian artists, Sherman, Brzezinski, Swartz. I think Joanne Todd is the only one that I'm showing right now that is still living and we have a relationship with.
okay.
So, please let me know if you have any questions that we haven't answered.
I appreciate it.
Morning. How you doing? Great. This is very tidy. Yeah. I was just waiting.
Thank you.
You put a bit of a wall of fame,
It's impressive.
including, and for fun, for entertainment purposes, my son Jonathan with Sidney Crosby,
it,
and
yeah.
the most famous painting that's ever been painted by hockey. When Sid saw that in our gallery, he said, "Oh, I had that in my bedroom when I was a kid." I said, "Yeah, so did every other kid who grew up after that picture had been painted." We had a show of hockey paintings, and Sidney came and joined us.
Nice.
And that's my father on the top left with Arthur Bismer, Edwin Holgate, and Eli Jackson, three members of the Group of Seven.
Wow.
This is me with when I had hair with Jean-Paul Demille, who's one of the most famous artists of the post-World War II generation. My father with two incredible Lauren Harris paintings. Myself with my father and mother. Jonathan, my son, and a magnificent
Yep.
$12 million Lauren Harris in the background.
Also in several homes.
Sorry?
Also in several homes
Yeah, but
across the
only one.
country.
Actually, the gentleman who bought that, he actually had it painted on the outside of a big caravan that he owns, and he went to that famous thing in the desert, this
Right, Burning Man?
Wounded Man or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are live on YouTube right now.
Excuse me?
You're live on YouTube right now.
Oh, am I? Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you for visiting, and welcome.
I appreciate
Come
it.
and join us.
Thank you. Now, group
So we
seven
can continue our tour then. This is Lauren Harris, one of the founding members of the Group of Seven, an Algoma picture done. He went there in 19, 20, 21.
Yep.
Edwin Holgate, who was a colleague of his, who was living in Quebec, so he didn't join the Group of Seven until about the time they disbanded. Goodrich Roberts, one of the outstanding post-World War II figurative painters, landscape painter who did not paint winter, something rare in Canadian art. You know, so in the winter he goes indoors and paints beautiful still life and figure studies. Urban artist, Montreal-based John Little, who's he's trying to sort of preserve.
That really captures winter, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, but his message is essentially preserving the urban core as it's being desecrated with suburbanization, and we're just demolishing everything. So he paints the family album before the picture, before everybody grows up and everything changes. Fred Taylor, who was a fascinating artist during the war, he didn't serve in the war. He physically couldn't do it. He was very athletic, but could not serve. And he wanted to have not only the servicemen celebrated, but also the people who were supplying the war effort. So he tried to get it subsidized by officialdom, but he wasn't successful. Even though his brother was E.P. Taylor, one of the $1 a year men, he was a communist oriented because the Russians in those days used art as propaganda and were paying a lot of money for art. So he was sort of a fan of some of their concepts. And he would bodily go into the factories and he would paint the people as they were working. And his feeling was that they became much more efficient and took much more pride in what they were doing. And then he also did urban work in Montreal. This is in Chinatown, which is, of course, is all changed. A very famous painter of the 1920s and 30s, the Port of Montreal. And Montreal, of course, in these days is the center of Canadian business. And all sort of mechanization of the port and modernism and that whole story.
That was the Ferris wheel.
Here we have a wall of great Canadian Impressionism. The four sketches by Clarence Gagnon, who was active primarily in the Bay St. Paul, Charlevoix area, and just the magic of the light reacting on this landscape that people have been visiting for the last 150 years. And it really is a mecca for artists. And these are sort of on-the-spot sketches, some of which he would make into larger canvases, but not a big body work. Robert Pilot, early Robert Pilot's a real Canadian Impressionism at its height. This William Brimner, he was one of the great painters of the late 19th century, not necessarily an innovator, but a real sort of world-class Canadian artist of a romantic, somewhat impressionist tradition. And Morris Cullen, who was one of the premier Canadian Impressionists, he's walking around in his snowshoes with his sketch box in 1920 and 1915 and painting it. Really the original Canadian Impressionist plein air outdoor painter, the first. John Young Johnson, who's a rather mysterious figure of his generation. Group of Seven, Arthur Lismer. One of the fabulous stories of Canadian art. These three ladies, from Ethel Seep to Sarah Robertson to Kathleen Morris, known as the Beaver Hall group of artists, a group of they were men and women, but the women from 1921 stayed together as a social group, encouraging each other to paint through regular teas and exchanging paintings and visiting each other in the country. A classic urban female story. You know, the guys are out, you know, in the wilderness, painting like the Group of Seven. The women, that's not quite acceptable, so they're either painting just outside the front door or outside the studio, or at home taking care of widowed mom or dad, and hence doing the still life, sort of looking out the window. It's not an uncommon kind of theme for women artists of the 20s and 30s for that reason. And again, this is one of these Beaver Hall group ladies that she's doing a landscape because she's visiting one of her friends. So as they say, they're not out there in the wilderness like Harris and Tom Thompson and these guys. Again, Robert Pilot, Canadian Impressionist. He loved this. It's the lighting that for this man is everything. And although he lived in Montreal, he went to Quebec City because Quebec City offered this sky. And he went there 50, 60 times, painting different views, either from around the Chateau Frontenac, looking over the river, sometimes from the South Shore, looking toward Quebec City. And just as I say, as an impressionist, it's the light, and he couldn't find comparable views in Montreal, although it was outside his door. And this is just great, Robert Pilot. Kathleen Morris, again, one of these Beaver Hall group women painters. She, in her case, was congenitally handicapped, and yet through perseverance and lots of encouragement from her female friends, left an incredible legacy of primarily of urban paintings in Montreal. Molly Lambeau-Back, who's the first female official war artist for Canada at the end of World War II. She was from British Columbia, but she had married a fellow war artist, and her husband Bruno became artist in residence at UNB, so they moved to Fredericton, where they lived most of her career. And she loves the poetry of people and all the activity, the hubbub, the sort of unorganization that creates just such a tapestry of color and movement. These are three Quebec-based artists, a brilliant colorist of the 20s, 30s, and 40s, Marc-Aurèle Fortin. His proportions can be absurd, but it all comes together. It sings extremely, extremely well. Brilliant colorist of the first order. Dallaire, who was more a surrealist. And this guy, a great Montreal, primarily urban painter. If any of if you're familiar with the great American artist Edward Hopper, who has sort of a lot of anxieties, this sort of speaks to it. There's a loneliness that permeates his paintings. We have a couple on the outside wall of people pictures done in the city. He's also, he's extremely lonely, but he loves watching people, women, groups, people, but he's always on the outside looking in, and has an incredible phobia of cars, even from the late 1940s. You know, I'm a pedestrian myself, and I feel threatened not only by cars but also by bicycles these days. And he felt that from the late 1940s as he's walking from his home to his office at the newspaper, and he's painting sometimes a lot of anxiety. These things are coming close, and also that women, and I think women today would acknowledge it, women alone in the city sometimes can feel very vulnerable, particularly in the evening. And he paints that quite marvelously, with he's sometimes in the background an Alfred Hitchcock cameo that he's watching this unravel. I have a painting on the outside wall that sort of speaks to that.
Yes,
Quite magnificent.
yeah.
It's not in, although the place does exist. He actually lives just up the street, but there's a very surreal aspect to it in the sense that even these light posts, they have no standards. They're just sort of floating little sort of flying saucers as it were. But there is a significance to a yellow light, which does mean, you know, a little bit sort of danger. Sometimes the red is extreme danger, and these sort of single female figures in the evening, and there's this wonderful reflection, extremely painterly, but there is an aura to it that does suggest danger. And here the same artist, he very much enjoys painting the human figure, more often than not female, and the wonderful design and color sense. This crosswalk, he's not a person who spoke to his paintings, but I would tend to suggest that this crosswalk implies that this should be safe. This is at a home base, that we should not be vulnerable within this space. Plus, we have a green light. A wonderful painter.
I appreciate you.
Okay, not at all. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you very much. Well, that was unexpected. He was very generous with his time. And I'm just going to check chats because I missed everything for the last little while. Yeah, that was cool. So I'm going to be doing this for another 5 minutes, and then I'm just going to switch to my Pocket 3 camera and basically walk this whole event for an hour. The reason I'm doing that is that the Pocket 3 is a 4K camera, and so visually it'll just put out a better product. Epic Ninja is at Union Station with friends. And thank you for signing up for the membership, Liam. Epic Ninja. Thank you. Yeah, that guy, a great communicator. Alicia is with the one they call Liam. My phone rang earlier today. Was that Liam playing phone tag? Alicia, I appreciate you being here. Pardon me. Yeah, I agree. So there are 180 galleries represented here, and he owns one of them. So what you're getting here is mostly people who own the galleries and the staff, but not necessarily the artists. You know what? I think I'll just go live longer. I'll always come back Sunday for some 4K talking free business. The other great thing about this event is the Wi-Fi is outstanding. So no data required for this stream. about being here today is there's no music, but there will be when this place is open to the public, which just means copyright disaster. Okay, kitty cats.
Hello. You're so pops up on my FYP and you're always saying hi. It's nice to see you on my live. It's like such a fun little treat. And thanks for checking out my You always bring good vibes. I'm grateful for
So that dude's streaming on some platform. Oh, I agree. You can never go wrong with art involving cats. This is neat. It's acrylic. It's like 3D art here. Hey, Toronto Brad. How are ya? Welcome. This is the sneak peek for Art Toronto. This is the sneak peek before the actual sneak peek that happens today. Sponsored by the McMichael Gallery. There will be canapes and wine and drinks. $400 a pop. That's what the ticket price is for the sneak peek tonight. And I was lucky enough to get a press pass so I can see this for free. And it's really nice to be here without the throngs of people. How you doing?
Awesome. Great. I haven't really given you much of this yet. That's good for me. Yeah. Okay.
And the way that you shaped me, like the way you shaped the clay on the banks of the Fundy, I held to you tightly. But everything changes and everyone leaves. On a winter's day, sunlight streaming in, the dog on the bed and a good fire going, and the music played, chieftains and the Bothy band. You took your last breaths to the sound of the bow, and I'll say it now as I said to you then. I'm so glad you got a good day.
Where we're going? दोनों को ट्रेन ये लाइन है
You got us in the Irish bar, slipped out the room when nobody was looking. You practiced that move so many times. You made love, you did it. Sunlight streaming, God on the bed, and a good fire going. Music played, she dancing about the ground. You took your last breaths to the sound of the boat. I said to you.
let's sneak back into the VIP lounge, and I think I'm going to end the stream in the VIP lounge. Ooh, but let's look at this neat stuff first. So we're about 5 minutes away from ending this stream. Ooh, that's a neat. I think it's got a lot of time here. That teddy bear has had a tough day. Good, how you doing? I've seen you on TikTok.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Are you live streaming?
I was live streaming. Now I'm doing a little clip for my stories.
I'm
what
live
about you?
streaming
Oh,
on
hello.
YouTube, on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube?
Yeah.
I don't use YouTube. I'm trying to, but the long format's a whole process.
It is. Yeah.
It's a whole process, and I'm not good with tech.
Okay.
So I use my phone, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, you do good work.
Well, it was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Enjoy. And bye, YouTubers.
And sorry,
Yes, of course.
for people watching, what is your TikTok handle?
Oh, Dag Larson.
Dag
Larsen.
All right, thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you.
Dag.
Bye.
That's Dag Larson. He's quite funny. I've seen him do some TikToks. This is the VIP lounge. I feel very special here. Yeah, that artist has a hate on for teddy bears for sure. Oh, this is neat. Look at the fabric spilling out of the art. Oh, my pleasure, Pansal. It was a lot of fun. And here we're going to end. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I'm going to do a little bit more filming here. And I think I'll come back Sunday. And maybe with Ema after my cemetery walk. So thank you, Pine Sol, for your support. Epic Ninja for your membership. Vivian Johnson for always being around. I appreciate you, Juanita. Alisa, Epic Ninja, Vasily. Jazz. Toronto Brad. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. And we're going to hang it up. And I'll see you in the ether.